Clasico after picking up an injury late on. Remember, remember the Clasico is this weekend. This game was hard to watch, wasn't it? I didn't enjoy this at all.
Just think of the positive. It's good practice for tomorrow's Lyon-Juventus game. You know what I mean? So we can practice our not enjoying the game on probably what we're going to get tomorrow. I think it's a little unsurprising, bearing in mind Napoli knew they would be outplayed by Barcelona. It's not the Napoli of Sarri's term where they would go at teams. It's a different animal. They did what they had to do well, apart from the goal, which was a blow to them. But most of the things they did on the counter were pretty good, particularly the Mertens goal. But I suppose in some sense, people are finding Setien's Barcelona a little tedious, boring.
Yeah, 724 passes they completed Barcelona. Of those, I can tell you, without having all the numbers in front of me, but it felt like maybe 10, 20 of those were actually forward passes, penetrating passes. Everything is just sideways and back. And sideways and back, and so slow and so predictable, which made it very easy for Napoli to just sit in behind and try to force a turnover. In fact, it was Napoli that looked the more dangerous team in transition whenever they did force a turnover to go and attack Barcelona. Look, I look at a Barcelona team that if indeed you're going to keep the ball, because that's what Setien wants and that's the Barcelona makeup, it has to be quicker, sharper. The movement of the ball has to be quicker. It has to be one-touch passing, and it has to be to the point to where you have to threaten him behind. The one time they threatened him behind was Semedo that got it with that run in the second half. Forward pass by Busquets. God forbid there's a forward pass in this game. Forward pass by Busquets. And the one time that you see Antoine Griezmann attacking the ball in the box, he scores. To his credit, he may have touched the ball 5 times in this game, but one of them was productive. Right. So if you're Barcelona, you take the 1-1, you take the away goal, and you run away from Napoli. If you're Napoli, you'll be so very disappointed that you allow Barcelona to escape out of here with the result that they did. Because Barcelona were nowhere near their best and nowhere near a team that looked like they were going to score today. Frank?
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan, and with the guys. I didn't enjoy the game. Nothing to say about Napoli because they gave their best, and I think they were unfortunate to concede a goal where, in fact, they were at the peaks in terms of dominations and possession of the ball. But when I watched Barcelona with the players they have, the club they are, there was a time where Yeoge going around the defense and trying to find an open door was cool, but it's like now it's getting boring, you know. It's like I'm not watching a soccer game. I'm watching a handball game, which is in fact handball because it's German. It was invented by them. But you go around, you try to find an open door, but it goes so slow, and then maybe you're gonna shoot or maybe not because you're gonna restart an action. You can even fall asleep and come back 5 minutes later. It's still the same action. So yeah, I agree with Ali. I think Barcelona must be very happy to come back to Catalonia with a draw. Napoli must be very sad because they should have done better. They deserve better.
It's a proper tie, though, in the second half, isn't it? And there's a second leg. Barca 5-1 on, Napoli 3-1. But as I mentioned, no Busquets, no Vidal, Piqué out. Makes a difference.
That's an emergency.
Get some signings in.
Me harping on about this is almost as boring as watching them sometimes. But, you know, you looked at that side tonight and, you know, emergency signing nonsense. I know Braithwaite can't play in the Champions League, but it's still a very good side. They've got injuries, they can still bring players in. It would still be a surprise. Pretty big one if Barcelona were not to go through. But at least from Gattuso's point of view, he can go there, charge the players up, sit in, see if he can catch them on the counter.
The challenge for Barcelona is that they don't seem, in their minds, to have any depth. The number of players that Setien uses is very limited. Yeah. And so now, if some of those players are injured or suspended, now you're in trouble.
Barca are rubbish away, by the way, in the knockout stages of the Champions League. They've only won 1 of their last 9 matches, just scoring 3 measly goals. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.